have the chair of the Spreydon Heathcote Community Board. Welcome, Paul. The first item on the agenda is a Part A report, proposed revocation of reserve status, and that will be moved by Tim Scandrett and seconded by Phil Clearwater. So would you like to speak to that one first?
Yep, the clear reason for doing this is because the reserve isn't needed for recreation purposes, and it could be available for social housing. And that's what the board strongly recommends, that the land be used for the provision of social affordable housing in the Christchurch city. But I also wanted to note that I think that the best use of resources for the council at the current time is to focus on repairing those that can be repaired, those social housing units that can be repaired. But our board is very strongly supports the expansion and repair of our social housing portfolio.
Yep. Does anyone want to comment on that, or I'll just put
a question? I totally understand, looking at this being as part of an integrated housing development, but I am concerned that where we've got a proposal to intensify, we're reducing green space. Have you given any consideration to some of it being retained as a reserve for the intensive housing that's going to be put in its place?
It's not really green space. It currently has a disused facility on it that was used by the model engineers, who are now in Hallswell, and was used by an amateur radio organisation. They're not using it anymore either. And there is, there's plenty of green space in the area. So, our board is also, loves green space, and our community does too. But in this instance, it doesn't appear to be a major concern or issue.
Tim Scandrett.
Oh, it's a very good point, but if you look at page 85, you'll see the aerial shot that well and truly 2/3 of the area pretty well taken up with some kind of building or asphalt or concrete. And Simeon Park, if you look at the piece within that site plan, is very close. So, we were fully aware of that, but Simeon Park is a good sized park and very close to that area.
Yeah, I was just thinking of like a little neighbourhood pocket park, but maybe as part of that development you can go through. The other question I had was those facilities that are currently there no longer being used by the community groups, but were there any other community groups that could use those in the interim? Is that being looked at?
It had been looked at, and it's not a very useful facility for anyone other than the model engineers. And it has, and the staff have followed up the groups, and the only groups that, the group that was using it has found other facilities. I guess that because we're vesting it for, we take revoking reserve status. It's a decision of the council property unit to decide how best to use that. And so, having adequate green space for social housing tenants is really important. And I'm sure any sensible development is going to include adequate green space, I would think and hope. And certainly the board wouldn't want to see a development done in such a way that there wasn't enough green space for the tenants.
Yep. So essentially we're adopting the board's recommendations. So we would agree with you that we would recommend to the unit that the land be used for the provision of social or affordable housing. So I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you. And now we move to the report as a whole. So that's moved by Phil Clearwater and seconded by Tim Scandrett. Is there anything in there that you'd like to raise with us?
Sorry, in the report of the 8th?
The balance of the report, yeah, of the 15th.
Just to point out that removing, that there is a proposal to remove the bus route from Cashmere, and there's a very nice bus shelter there that was erected amid some controversy. And I would hope that the council in its submission would oppose the removal of that route going in Cashmere, which goes up Hackthorn Road and down Dyers Pass Road or something like that.
Is this mentioned in yours?
Yes, it is It's just because of Cashmere Village Green where the bus stop is.
Oh, okay,
Has
right,
been.
right.
Yeah, sorry, that's part B, the deputations about Cashmere Village Green.
So you're talking about the council making a submission to ECAN on its bus routes? Yeah.
My recollection, Paul, is that the community board included that bus route in your submission, which council took into account. Am I right on that?
I saw that it's on an agenda for one of the committees to discuss the deputation, the council's submission. That's why I've raised it.
So the community board's submissions were certainly taken into account when those submissions were made by council.
Submissions close next week, don't they?
They do.
19th.
They've gone through the.
Or is it the 16th?
They went to the submissions.
16th.
Go on, Dave.
Okay, there's the submissions
The
panel
community
meeting
board
before they
submissions
close.
all went to the submissions committee when
Yep.
we heard that, and we've appended them all to the submission that went forward to ECAN.
Oh, great. Good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. And then we've got the a part A matter on the meeting of the